Hey guys, it's Bub here. In this video we're taking a look at a custom version of Windows 7 known as Tahoe7. This was released back in, I believe, June of this year, right around the time macOS 26 was announced at WWDC. This custom version of Windows takes Windows 7 and makes it look like macOS Tahoe. We've taken a look at a version that did either Windows 10 or Windows 11, I can't remember exactly, but this version goes off Windows 7. I can only assume it's because of all the aero effects that come with Windows 7, but I can't say for certain. I mean, that would make the most sense with the liquid glass. I'm very excited to see that people are still making mods with Windows 7, no matter how unsecure it may be. But let's boot into this ISO and see what we get. Alright, and here we are. So we can see the background, I can't move this window, is the macOS 26 Tahoe liquid glass background. And we even have an Apple logo on the installer screen. Looks like this is Ultimate Service Pack 1, just something for our own knowledge. And unfortunately, no drives were found. Gotta love that. Back to the drawing board. I love when videos don't go as expected. Alright, so the reason was because it was an NVMe disk for some reason and not a SATA or a SCSI drive, so I just had to go in and change the NVMe to a SCSI, and here we are. We are now installing Windows. Hopefully this goes off without an issue because I'm really eager to take a look at this and see what this OS has to offer. Alright, and here we are on the desktop of the macOS Tahoe 7. The only thing I've done is I've went ahead and installed VMware Tools and changed the screen resolution, but outside of that, this is exactly as it comes. The first thing we're going to look at straight off the bat is right here on the desktop. We have a README file. Hello, welcome to Tahoe 7. This is Windows 7 with a macOS Tahoe theme. It shows you dark mode, apply the dark mode to the dock. It shows you a few different things that you're able to do. One thing I just find interesting straight out the bat is that you can see there's a macOS menu bar theme here, but that doesn't seem to have carried over. Now that we've read the README file, let's take a look at the top. So at the top of this OS, we can see that this is actually the Windows taskbar, and we can right-click on it. We can move it around if we'd want, but we don't want to. The taskbar itself is transparent, just like it is on macOS Tahoe, so you can actually see the aero glass on the taskbar. Over on the right side, we have what we typically see, Show Desktop, which actually hides the dock for some reason. We have to click it again to bring the dock back. We have our system time, volume, our network access, our action center, and then our system tray, which is running rainmeter for some reason. Over on the left side, we have a Finder. Finder is pinned up there, which just opens the File Explorer, and then we have the Apple logo, which is the Start menu. Pretty standard Windows 7 Start menu. Rainmeter, Classic Explorer, Open Shell, Logon Changer. I don't know what that is. Probably. Oh, changes the logon. That's a really weird menu for that, though. Then in all programs, we can see some of the stuff we have installed, including Apple Software Update, default programs, iCloud, which is actually iCloud, or nope, iCloud is OneDrive. Okay. iMessage, we'll take a look at that in a little bit because I do see it's on the taskbar there. Mail, Movie Maker, Music, Photos, Rainmeter, Safari, Widgets, DVD Maker, Fax and Scan, Media Center, Update. I won't go through everything here, but we can see comes pre-installed with 7-zip, regular games because this is Ultimate, icon packs. It does come with iTunes, Open Shell for some reason, probably to change the logo of the Start menu, Rocket Dock. Tahoe 7 itself has a folder with the dock icons, so it has all the icon images there. I also saw, what else was in there? I think Logon Changer and wallpapers. We have Ultra UX Theme Patcher, and then the Windows Live suite of applications. Moving down from the Start menu, we have our desktop, which as we saw, we has the Recycle Bin, README, and then iTunes, which is actually iTunes. I think Apple still makes iTunes for Windows. I can't say for certain. It's been such a long time since I've even thought about iTunes on Windows. Let's see, is there an about to see when this one was made? Let's see, about iTunes. Well, this is for Windows 7, so this is a 32-bit version. It's a pretty old version here. On the desktop, we have macOS themed widgets. So we have our system resources, which are themed like the macOS battery icons, or even on iOS or iPadOS. We then have a music widget. We have our clock calendar, which actually looks very much like the macOS calendar. I'm kind of impressed. When you open, oh, that's interesting. When you open them, it looks like a macOS window. It's like grayed out, but it still works. Oh, this is what rainmeter was. I honestly did not know what rainmeter actually did. I thought it was some sort of brain monitoring solution. Or weather. We're going to close that out now. We'll put the clock back, and then we have weather for a foreign country that I don't think, yeah, it's definitely not right, because I can tell you it's not 0 degrees. And it looks like that widget itself actually just crashed. So that's beautiful. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, I guess you just had to save it and then it pulls the right weather. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dock here. So on the dock we have Finder, which is just computer. It opens up the File Explorer here. It was actually pretty responsive to do that. We then have Internet Explorer, which is literally Internet Explorer. Probably IE 11. Okay, About is actually grayed out for some reason. I'm not sure why. Won't let me go to About, which never, oh, there we go. Yep, IE 11. Not shocked. Then we have iMessage, which actually is Windows Live Messenger. And I really don't think this exists anymore. I mean, I know it doesn't exist, but I wonder if the servers are still up. I feel like I remember they killed them off. We then have Mail, which is Windows Live Mail. Wow, this is taking me back. I mean, these are some applications I haven't seen in forever. If Windows Live Mail, oh yeah, it even started. Wow, yeah, this takes me back. I mean, these are some really old applications. Then we have Apple Games, which is not Apple Games. In fact, it is just games that come with Windows. There's my favorite one right there from back in the day. Photos, which is just the photo gallery with the standard Windows photos here that we can see. And then lastly, we have iTunes, which is the actual iTunes made by Apple. So there's only one piece of Apple software in this, and it is iTunes. And then lastly, we have another shortcut to the recycle bin. Pretty interesting if I do say so myself. Let's take a look here. We are able to switch between... Oh, this is interesting. So we're set to the Windows 7 theme. If we switch to liquid glass, does it change our window borders? Because I know in the picture we saw that we had window borders that mimicked macOS. So if for some reason it was set to Windows 7, but if we go to liquid glass, it is taking quite a lot of time to change, more than normal. I wonder if this is how we get the macOS window borders. Quite honestly, I like the Windows 7 window borders, but I mean, I'm interested to see. Judging by how long it's taking, that did something. Not exactly sure that's what I wanted it to do. I mean, those are some pretty ugly window borders, but I digress there. Let's try macOS instead. Oh, this one looks a little more. Our cursor just changed to black, which is what the macOS cursor looks like. I don't know how anybody could use a Windows border like what we just applied. That is really ugly. Alright, yep, and that does look like we get the macOS window borders, although I will say it looks a lot more like a macOS Yosemite window border than an actual macOS Tahoe window border. But regardless, we now have the macOS iconic traffic lights. Lastly, let's take a look at our CPU and our RAM usage. So if we go to, let's see, performance, we can see average CPU utilization. This VM has 2 gigs of RAM. We're idling 843. And then lastly, let's take a look here at our disk usage. So again, this doesn't claim to be a tiny version of Windows 7 like what we normally look at. So we can see that we have a 59.7 gig disk. We're using 18.6 gigs. We have 41.1 free. With that being said, this was a brief overview of Tahoe7. Definitely let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I think it's very interesting, nonetheless. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like, and if you have any other video ideas you want me to take a look at, please let me know down in the comments below, because I love doing viewer recommended videos. I cannot stress that enough. Please, if you have an ISO you want me to look at, let me know in the comments below. With that being said, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations, and I'll see you all in the next one.